So you'll see everything that happens, all the good bits and all the bad bits. So what we've got here, we've got a sash window where the pulleys are broke. The pulley is broken. Somebody put these pulleys in. They're plastic pulleys. They are the utter total rubbish in the world. Never fit these. They are just absolute crap. Yeah. So what we've got to do is we've got to take the bottom sash out. We've got to record. We've got to put new pulleys in on both sides. Yeah, and then assemble it. So there's no draft stripping on this. It is purely and simply changing over the pulleys and making sure that the new. So first things first, we take this off. Always start just above the middle. Yeah. We're trying not to snap anything, which is so often the case. That's it, and that's the way you could smash a window. Taking that off, that's still stuck at the top. No, that one could snap. It doesn't want to come off. There's always one. It doesn't matter how often you do this. Somebody's probably put a screw in up there. We don't need that off anyway. As you can see, somebody's screwed it shut there, yeah, and there. So we take the other one off. Sometimes they come off extraordinarily easy, other times they're a nightmare. Right, we take that out of there, see if we can get it past there. No, we can't. So, stop. Right, take these screws out. This is somebody's temporary stop. Right, because we're going to be changing the sash cord, that's part of the deal. Yeah. Lift that up above the upstand and then see whether they're nailed or screwed. And they've been nailed. Right. So now, because we're changing the sash cord, we don't need to worry about anything. That's that one. And that's that one. We now put that out of the way for the moment. Now what we've got to do is we've got to get the pockets out on both sides. Now in order to take the pockets out, it can be a little bit tricky, but we're hoping it won't be. So we'll try first to take it out without moving the parting bead. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So take the hammer. to have to take the parting beads, get the parting beads loose. These have been put in very, very, very well. That's it. Happens in the best run families, and especially if you're trying to show somebody. Now that should be enough. It does not want to move. Thank you. That's it. Now it will move. What I'm trying to do is avoid having to take out the stop. Now we go over to the other side. Let's hope we don't have such a struggle with this one. You'll notice that that's all rotten there, but we don't have this as a remit. This is a hallway window in a house of multiple occupancy, or sorry, rented. That's it. So once I've got those out, then that should, he said, that should come out in one go. And they've nailed it in at the bottom, so you're really seeing all of the things that can go wrong. So now that should come out. This is not the original, as you can see, that isn't the original pocket. Now, another bodge job. Right, so that's both the weights freed up. Now we start on the pulleys. Stop. Right, take the my God, never buy these things, never. Now, they are absolutely crap. That sash should be up higher. Can you get it up higher? Somebody's kept that, put that in position. Stop. This side has got about 1,000 layers of paint on it, so we've got to see if we can clear the paint out first before you can do anything. Now the reason I like these screwdrivers is because you swap it over and you've got a double-ended, two different sizes of screws. It does not want to come out, but it will. Span likely. No, that one's stuck. What you can't do one way, you do the other. Pass us up a hacking knife, please. Thank you. Now you see why things are so difficult sometimes. We don't want to split that, but at the same time we've got to get the screw out. That's it. That's it out. Hallelujah. Right. So if you take a close up of those holes, please. Now these are proper pulleys. They're by Mighton. They really are my first choice. Yeah, so these have got to go in. Generally we're going to have to cut some of the old housing away because these generally don't fit in. Yeah. So that will go in there. So yeah. That'll go in there. What we want to do is we want to mark out where it's got to go. Right. That's it. It's not that far out, but it's far enough. So we take that out again. Stop. What we're going to do is we're going to widen the holes to accommodate for the new pulleys. Yeah. So. The hope is that this is going to fit. If not, we'll take some more off. That's it. Could I have the screwdriver, please? Oh no, I've got it in my pocket, sorry. Right. Good. One down the bottom. That's one in. Now we do the other side. Now, if you see this, there's a huge great split down the middle. So that actually needs to be bound together. Because what they've done is they've put a bit of wood behind there, and you can see that that's not original. So anything that could go wrong with this is going wrong. So we put that in there. Stop. Close up of this. This is a complete and utter screw up. You can see that the frame has been split all the way down there. Yeah. And this was put on as an afterthought, and they've probably screwed it in there and there. Yeah. And it's just making life extremely difficult. This one here. Right, okay. Now,
Upside down, upside down, upside down.
yeah. That fits. So we turn it up the right way. The right way for rope is where the where the arch is at the top. If you're putting on chains, then the chain is at the square bit is at the top, because that's to accommodate the chain movement. Could you pass up the Looking at this, the person who did it had no idea what they were doing. Absolutely none whatsoever. So that's the pulleys back in, or new pulleys back in. Those will last for a very, very long time. What to do is rope up. So first catch your mouse. Do that. Get your sash cord. When you find the end, take the mouse out at the bottom.
Ja, okay. Jamming it.
God knows what's going on inside the boxes, but there's bound to be a lot. Because once you find one screw up, you'll be able to find others. That'll be enough. Now, put that down there for the moment. All right. In through the top, out through the bottom. Do a quick double knot, well, blood knot, sorry. That goes in there. Fold that all together so it's nice and tight, and get it all up there. Now, many times people, how do you know the right length to cut the rope? I'm now going to show you how easy it is to cut the rope. It's to the right length. Pull the weight all the way to the top. And clamp it. Now take the cord. Where have I put my knife? There it is. that's the distance that you've got. About halfway up is a space, so if you cut to there, you are always right. And we do the same on the other side. So we go in and out. Tie it off. Slide that back in here. That's all nice and tight. Now, this is probably going to be the tricky side because somebody at some point or another decided to muck the box up. So we're going to see if the weight moves smoothly. So we know that that's right. So again, put it all the way to the top. Get your clamp. That's too loose. Let's push to one side. Again, if you come down to there, you cannot be wrong. So we'll just tidy this up a bit. That's the rope. Sash pulls them out. We'll take all the tools off. Now what we've got to do is put the pockets back in. This side should be relatively easy because it was original. When you're putting them back in, always remember that that groove there fixes it in that position in there. Now because we haven't taken the parting beads out completely, yeah, we need to get that back in place. That's not quite right. Yeah, sorry. That's it. Now I put the screw back into their original holes. That one's broken out. The window is actually rotting away but we'll be pinning that in a minute. Now we deal with this side. As you can see, it's a complete and utter screw up. Who uses a bit of architrave, architrave to form a pocket. And they screwed it in place just to make life more difficult. Another person who doesn't think ahead. That goes, that's missing. Just make sure that's in there. So that up there, and that goes in there. stop. Go. Go, 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 go. Put that up on the ledge. Now, because it's the bottom sash, you can actually have this out a little bit further. And as you notice, the rope goes in perfectly. So you've got plenty of room to put the screws in. That's the one thing that this job has given us. Other than that, it's been a tricky one. Right. Oh, will you believe it? I always put these in with 25mm screws, which is approximately 1 inch, so that we've got no chance of hitting the glass. He said more in hope than in anger. And because it's so tight around here, put that on there. Absolutely no room. So that's that side in. Now, let me swing it over that way. Put it against the bottom point. Yeah. With this, you've now seen virtually every screw up known to man, but we've succeeded. Now, because we've cut them to the length we have, any excess can be trimmed off. And you are always right with the amount of sash cord that you're dealing with. Nothing tricky about it. If there was something tricky about it, I wouldn't be able to do it. Now the top sash is fixed in place, and it would probably take a month of Sundays to free it up, because judging by the rest of the window, they would have screwed it up somehow. And now, there we have it, the sash is in place. Right, that goes in that side. Bend it as if you're at Agincourt. And the same on the other side. Use the nail gun to pin that in place. That's tacked it in place, so we know that's it. Everything is done. That was a nightmare of a job.